just 6 days more, Sri Lankans will be walking into polling stations once again, but this time to vote in their representatives into the Sri Lankan Parliament. A very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast Rundown, and I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Today too, we have several key local and international stories to cover right here on the Breakfast Rundown, so do stay tuned with us right throughout. Our top story concerns the 2024 postal vote for the upcoming general election. The postal vote for the upcoming 2024 general election concludes today. Commissioner General of Elections, Samanshri Ratnayake, says that state sector employees who are unable to cast their votes on the 30th of October, 1st of November and the 4th of November may do so today as well. Both yesterday and today were designated as special additional days for state sector employees to cast their votes for the upcoming 2024 general election. Those who cast their votes today may do so at the district secretariat of the district to which their workplace belongs. Now, over 736,000 individuals have been deemed eligible to cast their postal votes this year. Our next story this morning concerns the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks. A private plaint has been filed accusing former President Maithripala Sirisena of committing a criminal offence by failing to take action to prevent the Easter Sunday attacks, despite receiving intelligence information indicating that the attacks were imminent. Appearing on behalf of the former president before the Court of Appeal, President's Counsel Dr. Faiz Mustafa informed the Court of Appeal that issuing summons on former President Maithripala Sirisena by the 4th Magistrates Court was pursuant to a private plaint filed instituting criminal action over his failure to prevent the Easter Sunday terror attacks in 2019. A writ petition filed by former President Maithripala Sirisena at the Court of Appeal seeks an order dismissing the criminal action instituted over his failure to take action to prevent the Easter Sunday attacks. The petition was taken up before a 5-judge bench presided over by Justice Sobitha Rajakaruna. A private plaint was filed by Father Cyril Gamini and N. J. Sudasan, who was a victim of the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks at the Colombo Magistrates Court. At the hearing of the petition, President's Counsel Dr. Faiz Mustafa, representing former President Maithripala Sirisena, argued that the accusations against his client, including the issuance of the order by the Magistrates Court, were unlawful. He said that the case was filed against him without proper evidence. The petition will be taken up once again on the 17th of December 2024. Meanwhile, the Department of Irrigation says that the release of water for cultivations of the 2024 Maha season has begun. Director of its Water Management Unit, Bimal Ratnasiri Lande Kumbura, says that water sufficient for cultivations of 800,200 acres will be released accordingly. The water may be utilized for paddy and additional crop cultivations in the 2024 Maha season. The Department of Irrigation says that the water levels of large-scale reservoirs operational under the department are currently at about 60%. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Mahavalley Authority also says that water will be released for the cultivation of 247,500 acres belonging to the Mahavalley zones. Director of its Water Control Secretariat, Nilantha Dhanapala, says that only 50% of the expected rainfall was received in the month of October 2024. Now, the Consumer Affairs Authority, meanwhile, says that raids have been intensified to find vendors who are selling rice at prices above the imposed control price. Its investigation division says that so far this year, over 2,800 raids have been carried out. Now, cases have been filed against 425 shops that were caught selling rice at high prices. 2,060 incidents of legal action being taken against price lists not being displayed have also been reported so far this year. The Consumer Affairs Authority says that legal action was initiated against 240 shops for hiding rice stocks as well. Meanwhile, Secretary to the Ministry of Trade M.M. Naimuddin says that the report on the rice and paddy stocks in the country were also handed over to the President. He adds that following the examination of this report, future steps will be taken in this regard. Our next story this morning is a wonderful reminder to all Sri Lankans of how blessed we are as a country and how gifted we are as a nation. Sri Lanka has been recognized at the Wanderlust Travel Awards 2024, earning top honors as a most desirable island in the world. Sri Lanka has won the Gold Award for Most Desirable Island in the Wanderlust Reader Travel Awards, making an impressive leap from last year's 8th place to take the top spot this year. Now voted on by over 3 million travellers, the award highlights Sri Lanka's captivating landscapes and rich history that continue to enchant visitors from around the world. In the other categories, Australia was voted the most desirable country, while Tokyo took the title of most desirable city. Of course, given the unfortunate situations that the country was put through over the past few years, I believe this particular recognition serves as a wonderful reminder to all of us that Sri Lanka has so much potential, coupled up with all the natural gifts that we have as a country. With that good news, we move on to another local story now. The Ministry of Trade says that attention has been paid to lowering prices of bakery and canteen products with relation to the strengthening of the Sri Lankan rupee. The ministry says that the general public has complained to the Consumer Affairs Authority on the price reduction percentages of bakery products. Now, an investigation is also underway to determine if bakery and canteen owners have taken steps to ensure that the benefits of the strengthening of the Sri Lankan rupee and the lowering of prices of ingredients have been transferred to the consumers of Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Trade adds that plans have been made to summon the Bakery and Canteen Owners Association and hold discussions with them with regards to the price reduction of bakery products. Let's move on to your weather update this morning. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern and northwestern provinces and in the Puttalam and Trincomalee districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in other areas of the island after 1 p.m. today. Showers may occur in the western province and in the Galle, Mathura, Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the morning as well. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa and Ubud provinces. Meanwhile, as always, the general public has been requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during these thunder showers. Well, that's our final local story for this morning. Allow me to shift your attention to news overseas. The entire world watched as Donald Trump was elected as the 47th President of the United States of America. Our next story is a development concerning this. President-elect Donald Trump on Thursday announced that Susie Wiles, one of his 2 campaign managers, will be his White House Chief of Staff, entrusting a top position to a political operative who has helped him win the 2024 U.S. presidential election. The appointment was the first of what is expected to be a flurry of staffing announcements as Trump girds for a return to the White House on the 20th of January 2025. Wiles will be the first woman to serve as White House Chief of Staff. Well, as the gatekeeper to the U.S. president, the chief of staff typically wields great influence within the entire hierarchy of the White House. The person manages the White House staff, organizes the president's time and schedule, and maintains contact with other government departments and lawmakers as well. Well, Trump chose Wiles over former House Representatives Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a California Republican who is close to Trump and has been a frequent visitor to Mar-a-Lago. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin has congratulated Donald Trump on his election victory, calling him a courageous man. Speaking at an event in the Russian city of Sochi, the Russian president said that Trump was hounded from all sides during his first term at the White House. Putin also said that Trump's claim that he can help end the war in Ukraine deserves attention at least. Now, during his campaign, Donald Trump repeatedly said that he could end the war, quote unquote, in a day, but he never elaborated on how that could be done or how that could happen. During Putin's address, which lasted several hours and covered a wide range of topics, he also spoke on the assassination attempt that took place concerning Donald Trump during his campaign in July, saying that it made an impression on him. Putin said, quote unquote, he behaved, in my opinion, in a very correct way, courageously, like a man. Asked if he was ready to have discussions with Donald Trump, Putin replied that they are ready indeed. The Kremlin was widely accused of interfering in the 2016 presidential election of the United States to boost Donald Trump's campaign against Hillary Clinton. The claims were later on rejected by Moscow. U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller investigated allegations of collusion between Trump's campaign and Russia in the year 2016, but said in a report 3 years later that no evidence was found concerning this particular conspiracy. Well, that brings to a close today's edition of the Breakfast Rundown with me, Therunee Karunaratne. Of course, since tomorrow is a weekend, I'll see you again on Monday on a brand new edition of the Breakfast Rundown, 7 a.m. on TV1. Until then, take care. Have a wonderful weekend ahead.